Hey, Coach Jamie here saying hello and welcome to the show. So, real quick, if we're going to take just a few moments, see if anyone jumps in. If as you jump in, just go ahead and say hello, say hi, give me a thumbs up, and let me know that you're here. And certainly would love a comment, share some love with me as we get started. So, what this show is about, what we're here to talk about, is for everyone that wants to be a one percenter, for everyone that wants to do a little bit more with their life, do something different with your life. I talk about a lot of different topics. Fitness, obviously, very dear to my heart. We're going to kind of hit on that in this show a little bit. Marketing, mindset, and lifestyle. Lifestyle being the big thing, and that kind of goes back to what your purpose and what your passions are all about. For me, it's my 5 F's. That's faith, family, fitness, freedom, and fun. So you'll probably hear a lot about those type of topics as I get this show rolling and get things going. But yeah, this is about you and your passions, though, and so that's going to be kind of where I go. How can I help you live your passion and live your purpose? And that's what I'm here to talk about today. But it all starts with getting a few things correctly. We talk about mindset, and maybe if we're doing something on the internet, we'll talk about marketing. We're going to get into that kind of stuff. But first, I want to get to the base of what's important, and that's the physical body, and making sure that our body is prepared to handle all the things of being that 10x person, that person that takes it to the next level, the person that wants to be a one percenter, stand out, do something different, and live their life on purpose. And that's what I want to help you do. So today, if you're coming in, welcome. Thank you for being here. And I'm saying hello. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I want to talk about something today that's very important to you, and it's about the body, about the physical nature of ourselves, and that is something that is silently and slowly killing you, and hundreds and thousands and maybe millions of Americans today. Across all of America, across all of the world, not just Americans. This show is for everyone, right? So, but we just have a tendency to kind of do a lot of this in America. And this one thing that we're doing every day is silently and slowly killing us, destroying our bodies, destroying a lot of our physical nature, and keeping us from living up to what we can do. And that one thing that we do every day is sit. And we sit a lot, right? So while we're driving, while we're talking, while we're watching TV, going to the movies, while we're working, most of our work life is sitting. Honestly, I'm sitting right now as I record this, but I plan on doing something about it. And I do something about it. Well, I do my full-time job. I have one of those. I do work full-time as well as work on this little side hustle that I've got going on with this marketing business and this show, trying to help you succeed and do some different things that are going to help you. The things that I learn, I'm teaching you, and what I want you to do is take that, learn, and go and teach it to someone else. That's how this works. So when I work full-time, I stand up at a desk. I do not sit down at a desk at all throughout the day. Now, I do have a stool I sometimes sit back on. It has no back. I don't lean back on anything. I stand at a standing desk. So, how is sitting killing us? That's the topic, and we're going to move on, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. You see, the problem with sitting is that we shorten our hip flexors. And the hip flexors are actually a muscle called the psoas. And deep inside your pelvic area, where the hips and the torso all kind of meet up, is the psoas muscle. And we call them hip flexors, or it's part of the hip flexor complex. When we sit, those things shorten and they get tight. Now, a lot of people that have tried to jump into an exercise routine probably have experienced what tight hip flexors feels like. But when they get tight, it does a lot more than just make it difficult to work out. There's a lot of things it does, actually. So, they get short, and these muscles are responsible for kind of stabilizing our core, stabilizing our hips, and they kind of keep us upright and moving correctly. And when they're short and tight, they can cause a lot of problems. Things like lower back pain. If you have lower back pain, it's probably because the psoas muscle, the hip flexors, are tight, that whole complex. And that happens because we're constantly closing the gap in our between the legs and the torso, and we're keeping that tight. So when we sit down all the time. So lower back pain. If you're trying to lose weight and you have kind of a large stomach, sometimes that shortened hip flexor causes the pelvis to tip forward, and you have this bulging belly area. You'll see it in kind of a larger folks sometimes, or somebody that has really, really shortened hip flexors. You're going to see that their pelvis tilts forward and their belly kind of protrudes. They could be skinny everywhere else, but the belly kind of sticks out. Okay, that's caused from short and tightened hip flexors. Okay, digestive problems, breathing problems. The hip flexor complex is right up next to the diaphragm area, and everything gets the connection between the lower body, the upper body, and circulatory problems, reproductive issues. You're injury prone with tight and shortened hip flexors. All of these things are just responsible for the number one problem, and the thing that is hurting and possibly killing Americans today and people across the world is sitting. So there are some things that you can do to fix that, and that's what I'm going to kind of leave you with here in just a moment. But I want to tell you why it's important to fix this, okay? A functioning hip complex, it reduces injury potential anyways, reduces the potential for injury, and it can improve sports performance. If you're really into something like running, like I am, tight hip flexors can cause injury. Getting them fixed and having working and functioning hip flexor complex area, you're going to have improved sports performance from that. Mobility is going to increase when we work on this area, and our core will also be strengthened at the same time where it needs to be, so that the lower back is protected, because that's one function of the core, is to keep your lower back from injury. If we have that pelvic tilt problem, we're not going to be able to do that too well, right? Because we're already putting the lower back in a stressed position. Improved circulation, digestion, helps with digestion, and weight loss. It's going to help with weight loss when we get this thing fixed. Our sexual health, that's a big one, obviously. And then, like I said, lower back protection as well. So here's what you need to do. I'm going to leave you with some tips so you know what the problem is. The problem is sitting, but we've already done the damage most likely. So we need to fix it now. So here's what I want you to do. Number one, stand more. I want you to stand more. Find a standing desk at work. Those work wonderful. Or just take standing breaks. Okay, walk around maybe. So for every 5 minutes of sitting, 1 minute of standing, some sort of interval like that. So 30 minutes, take a 10-minute standing break. Something along those lines. If you can stand to work, much, much better. Let's see. Foam roll. Get a foam roller, okay? These things are very, they actually hurt a little bit. But if you get a foam roller, you're going to find that if you use that correctly, and I've got some resources I'm going to share with you that you can find out how to use these correctly. But if you roll out the hip flexors, the quads, and these areas to loosen that hip complex, you're going to find that it will do wonders for you. So foam roll. So we're going to stand more. We're going to foam roll. Number 3, yoga. I want you to get involved in yoga. Okay, this is the basis of a physical transformation. All right, yoga. All right, yoga is so important, and I'm not talking about the crazy metaphysical aspects. I'm talking about the physical training called yoga. All right? Yoga does wonders for the lower back, for the core, and for the spine, and for your hip flexors. Okay? So yoga. And then finally, we're going to transition from that. We're going to do some deeper, bigger, dynamic core exercises. These are things that are more athletic in nature. I'm talking about bridges. So you can think athletic or gymnastic type of movements. Bridges, leg lifts using the glute, keeping the leg straight. So like Pilates and things like that. V-sits and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you some resources then that's going to help you, all right? And then finally, what I want to offer or tell you, the fifth thing you can do is glute activation exercises. These are deadlifts, kettlebell swings, things of that nature, okay? And there's a bridging is one of those as well. It's going to activate the glutes. Those leg lifts that I mentioned. Glute activation exercises. When we activate the glute, we're going to help increase that core strength, and we're going to get the pelvis realigned by strengthening the area that's weak, because that's the other problem with sitting, is that while we're tightening those hip flexors, the glutes grow weaker and weaker, and that causes the same problem. So we want to strengthen the backside, loosen up the front. And so if you do them in that order, stand more, foam roll, yoga, dynamic core work like Pilates and things like that, and then glute activation exercises like deadlifts, kettlebell swings. You want to do those correct, and that's why I put that as number 5, so that you get the core built first before you start strengthening the glute muscles and going into heavier things like deadlifts and stuff like that. So let's sum all of this up, because a lot of people are only interested in fitness when it relates to weight loss, and it is important, but we've got a problem. Across the world, we've got a weight loss problem. And if you've read my story, you know been a personal part of that problem. I've had that problem exist within me, but I did something about it. Okay, but here's the nature of the problem. We believe that we have to lose weight to get healthy. But that's an incorrect belief, okay? That's the problem. We think we have to lose weight to get healthy. You'll be healthy when you lose weight, and that's bad logic and bad thinking. To lose weight, you need to get healthy first, okay? And there's a whole bunch of stuff we can talk about when we talk about getting healthy. But let's talk about what we're doing today, and that's standing up more instead of sitting, because it has a huge detriment to your health. So you have to get healthy before you can consider even getting to the point of losing weight, because if we don't have this stuff fixed, that weight loss, we're going to go out and try to do some cardio or something like that, right? Run a bunch, and our body isn't ready for it, and we're just going to get injured and hurt, and you're going to gain more weight, and we're going to get more unhealthy. So instead of jumping into something that we're not ready for, let's fix the first problem, which is we sit too much. So I want you to get healthy and then lose the weight. Start with standing more, and then we can get strong where it needs to be strong, which is in the core that keeps us stable, in the glutes that protect our lower back. We need to get strong, and then we're going to jump into some weight loss type of things, whether it's a cardio-based program or whatever. I have a lot of options that I can help you with. So here's what I'm going to leave you with, okay? That's enough talk about all of those items. Stand more, right? That's what you got out of this. You need to stand more, and we need to do those 5 things that I mentioned. Foam roll, yoga, dynamic core workouts, and glute strengthening exercises, so along with standing more. So I'm going to give you something today that's going to help you get started. I'm going to give you access to a series of programs that you can explore and you can look at that can change the strength of your core and help you get healthy, and then you can grow with the program so that you can get your weight loss goals or your muscle growth goals happening after we work on this part first, right? So I'm going to give you a free trial to our on-demand fitness service. Now, inside of there are thousands of programs, and I want you to comment if you're interested in learning what I would recommend for you to first get healthy, second, build that core strength, third, what type of yoga programs are in there that will help you, because there's a bunch of yoga programs in there along with all the different types of strength workouts. And then finally, I've got a great all-around routine that will help you, once you get through all of that, help you get strong, grow muscle, work the glutes like I talked about. It has those kettlebell swings and deadlifts in it, and it's an all-around general fitness program that's going to take your body to the next level. And then the world is yours, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to go through. I'm going to give you 30-day access to that entire library of fitness programs that you can use starting today to do all of these first 5 things that I'm talking about, okay? And you can explore, you can go through, see what you like about it. We need to have a conversation about where I think you should start. And there are beginner programs if that's where we're at with you. So what I want you to do is hit like, say you're interested. I want you to comment below, and I will privately message you the link to get you started with this 30-day free trial. This is probably, my goodness, I don't know, $15,000 worth of free programming that you're going to get access to for 30 days. It will change your life if you do something. So I'm going to leave you alone now and decide for yourself whether you're going to change today physically, and then we can go all the way up to the top from there, wherever you want to go. So the choice is yours, my friend. Okay? So comment below. Also, if you got a lot of value from this, up above in my Facebook page, if you're on my blog site, there's a link right below this that says subscribe to my Facebook page. Click on that. If you're on my Facebook page, up at the top, it says follow. I want you to click on that after you click like. Okay? Click follow, and you're going to get notified every time I have one of these shows. Okay? I'll try to keep them short and sweet. Today was a little bit longer, but I think there was a lot of stuff in here that maybe you haven't considered before that will help you. So, with that being said, I want to leave you today. Follow your passions, my friends. And, being physically active is part of being an entrepreneur. It's part of being a 10X type of person. It's part of taking things to the next level. It's part of being passionate about what you do. And it's part of building yourself so that you can impact the world and help other people. If you aren't ready physically to do that, you'll never be able to help someone else, right? So, have a good evening, good night. Turn your passions into purpose and profit, my friends. Take care. Coach Jamie signing off. Bye now.